It was a soft autumn evening in Oregon. The wind gently stirred the amber leaves outside as Margaret, a retired schoolteacher in her early 70s, sat by the window with a cup of chamomile tea in her hands. The room was quiet, the light dim, and her heart tired. For years, Margaret had struggled with sleep. The nights felt long and endless, and even though her body ached with fatigue, her mind remained wide awake, wandering through memories, worries, and regrets. She had tried so many things: warm milk, gentle music, lavender oil, medications that promised rest but delivered only fog. What remained was a question she never said aloud, but always felt: why can't I just fall asleep like I used to? One morning, after yet another sleepless night, she reached for a dusty book her daughter had left on the shelf years ago. It was The Heart of the Buddha's Teaching by Thich Nhat Hanh. She hadn't touched it before. But something inside her opened, gently, curiously, as she flipped through its pages. She paused on a sentence that seemed to speak directly to her. When we are mindful, deeply in touch with the present moment, our understanding of what is going on deepens, and we begin to be filled with acceptance, joy, peace, and love. She read that line again and again. It wasn't magic, but it was honest. It was kind. In that quiet moment, something shifted in her. Not sleep. Not yet, but a kind of peace that she hadn't felt in a long while. She realized she was not alone in her struggle, and maybe, just maybe, this wasn't something to fight against anymore. The Buddha once spoke of suffering, dukkha. He did not say that we must avoid it, or conquer it, or fear it. He simply named it, acknowledged it. There is suffering, there is a reason for it, and there is a way to walk through it with gentleness. These ancient truths felt surprisingly intimate in the middle of a sleepless night. Margaret found comfort not in a solution, but in understanding. Her insomnia was not a flaw. It was a form of suffering, and like all suffering, it could be met with care. She began to notice something. The more she tried to control her sleep, the more it eluded her. The more she feared the night, the longer it stretched. But when she softened her expectations, when she simply allowed herself to be breathing, sitting, noticing, she found that her body slowly began to trust the darkness again. Ajahn Chah, a beloved Thai forest monk, once said, "If you let go a little, you will have a little peace. If you let go a lot, you will have a lot of peace." So she tried letting go, just a little. Every evening she would sit quietly before bed. No rituals, no striving, just herself, her breath, and a candle flickering beside her. She began to breathe, not to force sleep, but to come home to herself. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Those words from Thich Nhat Hanh became her quiet prayer. At first, sleep didn't come, but peace did. And eventually one night, without even noticing, drifted off, and then another night, and then another. So now, wherever you are, lying in bed or sitting quietly, you're invited to join her. Just notice your body, the way it gently rests on the bed, the way your hands feel warm or cool. Let gravity support you. There's nothing to do. No goal, no timeline, only breath. Feel the inhale like a gentle wave coming to shore. Feel the exhale, soft, surrendering like a leaf floating on water. And if thoughts come, let them pass. Don't hold them, don't push them away. Just return, kindly, patiently to your breath. You are not here to perform. You are here to be. You are not broken. You are tired. You are not lost. You are learning to come home. And as you rest in this simple presence, remember the words of the Buddha: as rain breaks through an ill-thatched house, passion will break through an unreflecting mind. As rain does not break through a well-thatched house, passion will not break through a well-reflecting mind. Tonight, may your house be well-thatched. May your heart be at ease, and may you rest. Not because sleep is forced, but because you are no longer afraid of the night. There are some nights when even the quiet feels loud. You lie there, not moving, yet everything inside you is stirred up. The shoulders that carry the weight of the day, the jaw that clenches softly with worries you don't even name, the chest rising and falling but never quite resting. For many, this is what insomnia feels like. Not always panic, not always fear, but a kind of constant readiness, as if the body doesn't trust the night enough to let go. Margaret, whose story we've begun to follow, once described it like this: "It's not just my mind that won't sleep, it's my whole body. Even when I lie down, I feel like I'm still standing." It's a powerful truth, because healing sleep doesn't begin in the mind alone. It begins where we live, in this body. The Buddha once said, "The body is a house. If it is not well protected, the rain will enter. If it is watched with mindfulness, peace will arise." When we carry tension day after day, night after night, it becomes a kind of silent armor, one that keeps even sleep away. But when we bring awareness to the body, without judgment, without fixing, we begin to soften. And in that softening, we begin to heal. There's a story told in quiet circles, not famous, but deeply human. It's about a man named Daniel, a retired veteran who had been living with chronic insomnia for over a decade. His sleep had been fractured since the war. His body, always alert, his nights long and restless. He tried therapy, medication, even traveling far from home, hoping a new place might quiet his nerves. But peace didn't come through distance. It came one night, when someone offered him a new kind of invitation, not to fix the mind, but to come home to the body. Through a simple practice called body scan meditation, he began to notice the forgotten corners of himself. He said later, "I'd never really said hello to my own body before. I was always trying to silence it or escape it. But for the first time, I listened, and it felt like my body sighed in relief, like it had been waiting for me." That image stayed with me, a body waiting for us to return. So tonight, as you rest, wherever you are, you might try that too. Not to force sleep, not to chase away thoughts, but simply to return. Let's begin gently. Feel the weight of your body on the bed or chair. There's no need to move or adjust or try. Just notice. Your body is here and it is safe. Bring your attention to your feet. Can you feel them? The warmth or the coolness? The quiet pulse that says, "I'm alive." Now slowly, not rushed, allow your awareness to rise like warm light filling a glass. Your ankles, your calves, your knees. Notice where tension lives, not to fix it, just to say, "I see you." Your thighs, your hips, the weight they carry every day. Pause here, let the breath touch those places. Now the belly, often held tight. Can you soften even a little? The chest, where breath lives. Notice it rising, falling, like waves at the shore. The shoulders, they carry so much unspoken, so much responsibility. Just for now, can they melt down your arms to your hands? Let them rest like leaves on water. And finally, your neck, your jaw, your cheeks, your eyes. Let your face be soft. If any area feels tight, it's okay. You're not here to fix. You're just visiting, like an old friend returning after years away. And perhaps, like Daniel, you may find your body sighing, not in words, but in warmth, saying, "Thank you for noticing me." Thich Nhat Hanh once shared, "The body is not just a vehicle, it is our garden. If we tend to it with mindfulness and care, it will offer us flowers in return." Some nights the flower may not be sleep, not yet, but perhaps a softening, a moment of trust, a breath that goes deeper than before. And that is enough. As you rest here, let yourself be held by the bed, by the quiet, by the knowing that you don't have to do anything more tonight. You've done enough. Let the breath be slow. Let the night be gentle. Let your body come home. And remember, even if sleep hasn't come yet, peace has already begun. In the words of the Buddha, just as a solid rock is not shaken by the storm, so the wise are not moved by praise or blame. Verse 81. You are learning to be like that rock, still, present, trusting. And in that trust, one night, maybe even this one, sleep will come. Not because you chased it, but because you let it find you. There are nights when the past returns uninvited. A voice, a memory, a regret. Sometimes it comes as a sharp image. Other times, just a feeling that lingers like smoke after the fire is gone. You lie awake, and the mind starts to replay old scenes like a film reel. Things you said or didn't say. Things you wish you had done differently. And in that quiet, the heart begins to ache again, just as it did all those years ago. There was a man named Thomas, soft-spoken in his mid-60s. He once described his insomnia not as a problem of the body, but of the heart. I don't lie awake because I'm anxious about the future, he said. I lie awake because I still carry the past, especially the night my son died. He hadn't spoken those words out loud in years. His son had passed away in an accident over 2 decades ago. But every night, as the world quieted down, that ache returned. The ache of a father who couldn't protect, who couldn't undo, who couldn't forgive himself. He had tried to move on, as people say. But grief doesn't obey clocks. And guilt lives in the body like a stone, heavy, unspoken, quietly shaping the way we sit, the way we breathe, the way we try and fail to rest. When Thomas came to meditation, he wasn't looking for sleep. He was looking for mercy. One evening, after sitting silently for several minutes, he heard a teacher share these words from Ajahn Chah: "If you let go a little, you will have a little peace. If you let go a lot, you will have a lot of peace. If you let go completely, you will have complete peace." He didn't know how to let go, but something in him softened, just a little, enough to stay, enough to keep breathing. And so he began a simple practice, not to erase the past, but to hold it differently. Not with clenched fists, but with open hands. If you're listening now and there is something or someone that still holds your heart in a quiet ache, this practice is for you. Not to forget, not to fix, but to rest with compassion. Let yourself be still. Feel the breath, soft, slow. Let your body be like a safe harbor. You are not running from the memory. You are resting with it. Bring to mind the person, the moment, the weight that still lives in you. Not to stir pain, but to bring light to what has been hidden. Now silently say to yourself, "I see you. You are part of me." You don't have to be pushed away anymore. Let the breath carry these words like leaves floating on a gentle stream. And now, say quietly, even if just as a whisper in your heart, "I forgive you." Or, "If I cannot yet, I am willing to learn how." Forgiveness is not a door we force open. It is a window we leave cracked open so that light may one day return. Thich Nhat Hanh often said, "To love, we must first understand. And to understand, we must first stop running." When we stop running, even for just one breath, we allow love to begin again. Thomas began to sleep again. Not every night, not quickly. But over time, as his practice deepened, the ache became less sharp, the guilt less heavy, the night less frightening. He once wrote in his journal, "I still miss my son, I always will. But now when I lie down, I hold him with love, not regret. And that makes all the difference." Tonight, as you listen, remember, you are not your past. You are not your worst moment. You are not the silence that followed. You are here, breathing, softening, learning how to be kind to yourself. And even if you cannot sleep yet, you can rest. You can let the weight rest beside you, not on top of you. You can place your regrets down like heavy bags at the side of the road. You can whisper to yourself, "I've carried you long enough. You may rest now." The Buddha once taught, holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. Tonight is not about perfection. It is not about erasing memory. It is about allowing your body to soften, your heart to be held, and your spirit to begin again. You have permission to rest. You have permission to forgive. You have permission to be new. Just keep breathing, keep softening, keep letting go. And if the ache returns, as it sometimes will, you'll meet it not with fear, but with kindness. The past may knock at your door again, but now you know how to greet it gently and let it pass. And one night, perhaps this one, peace will come like sleep, quietly, without fanfare, like a hand resting lightly on your shoulder in the dark. Some nights what keeps us awake isn't fear, it isn't pain. It's a quiet, simmering tightness in the chest, a closing of the heart. We lie in bed, and even though the day has ended, the echoes of old resentments still linger. A harsh word spoken, a feeling left unacknowledged, a wound never fully healed. The body is still, but the heart is armored. There was a woman named Ellen, 72 years old, widowed. For most of her life, she carried a quiet tension in her chest that no doctor could explain. She didn't call it grief. She didn't call it trauma. She simply said, "I can't sleep well when I think of her." Her daughter-in-law. They had lived in the same home for over a decade, but a wall had silently grown between them. Misunderstandings, hurts unspoken. and a sense that love had become conditional, given with hesitation, received with doubt. Each night, Ellen would lie down with her memories, and though her bed was soft and her room peaceful, her heart remained closed. One evening, she heard a teacher speak of metta, the practice of loving kindness, not as a feeling we wait for, but as a seed we gently plant. She wasn't sure it was for her. She said, "I'm not good at pretending." But loving kindness isn't pretending, it's remembering. Remembering that beneath all stories, all wounds, all roles, we are human. And every human, when touched by love, softens. The Buddha taught, "Let one cultivate a boundless heart toward all beings. Let one's thoughts of boundless love pervade the whole world, above, below, and across, without obstruction, without hatred, without enmity." That night, Ellen sat quietly before bed. She placed her hand on her heart, not because it would change anything, but because it felt right. And she began to whisper, "May I be safe. May I be happy. May I sleep in peace." At first, it felt odd, mechanical, but as her breath slowed, she began to soften. Then, after a few nights, she added a new line, "May she be safe. May she be happy. May she sleep in peace." She didn't need to understand everything between them. She didn't need to fix what was broken, but she could wish her well, not as a gift to the other, but as a freedom for herself. And something changed, not in her daughter-in-law, but in her own heart. The armor began to melt. Sleep began to return. Tonight, if your heart feels heavy, if there is someone who stirs tension in your chest, even in the dark, you don't need to push that feeling away. You don't even need to make peace with them. You just need to bring a little kindness to the part of you that's hurting. Let's sit together now. Or lie down. No posture is better than another. Just still. Feel your breath coming in, going out. No pressure, no goal, just noticing. Now bring your attention to your heart. Place a hand there if you like, gently as if cradling a small bird, and quietly repeat, "May I be at ease. May I be free from bitterness. May I be open to love." Breathe. Let the words settle. Now bring to mind someone you find difficult. Not the person who hurts you the most. Not yet. Choose someone where there's tension, but also the possibility of softening. Picture them, not in their worst moments, but simply as they are, a human being who has also known loneliness, loss, misunderstanding. And now, slowly, say in your heart, "May you be at ease. May you be free from fear. May you sleep in peace." You're not excusing their actions. You're not forgetting your own pain. You're simply releasing the grip on the wound, letting it breathe. Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "When we say something unkind, it stays with the person for a long time. But when we speak with love, it continues in them like a gentle song." Perhaps tonight, your kindness will be that song, heard not by them, but by you, echoing through your own heart as it gently opens, petal by petal, breath by breath. Ellen wrote in her journal months later, "I don't know if she changed, but I changed, and now I sleep more easily. Not because everything is resolved, but because I finally let love in." So tonight, you can let love in, not the romantic kind, not the grand gesture kind, but the soft, quiet, steady kind that simply says, "You are worthy of peace, and so is everyone else." Let the breath be your companion. Let kindness be your lullaby. Let your heart, that brave and tender heart, rest in its own warmth. And if sleep comes now, let it be gentle. And if it doesn't, let this moment still be healing, because sometimes softening the heart is the beginning of softening the night. It's strange, isn't it? How the body can be tired, the lights can be off, the bed warm and familiar, and yet the mind refuses to rest. You lie still. But inside there's movement, a conversation that hasn't happened, a task left unfinished, a future that hasn't even arrived, yet already pulls you forward like a tide. There was a man named David, a retired accountant, gentle, quiet, always planning. Even in retirement, he couldn't stop organizing, forecasting, preparing. He had been responsible his whole life. Reliable, precise. But at night, those same gifts became burdens. His mind wouldn't let him rest. What if the money runs out? What if my wife gets sick again? What if I forget something important tomorrow? He would fall asleep for an hour, then jolt awake, heart racing, mind busy. When David began meditation, he hoped it would be like turning off a light switch in his brain. Instead, he found something else. Not silence, but space. Not emptiness, but presence. One night, his teacher said gently, "You don't have to fix the future tonight. You only need to return to where you are, right here, right now." It seemed too simple, almost naive. But he tried. He noticed the warmth of the blanket, the sound of the wind against the window, the quiet rhythm of his own breath, and for the first time in years, he realized, this moment is enough. The Buddha once said, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." So tonight, you're invited to do the same. Let's begin, not by chasing sleep, but by coming home to now. Lie back or sit, whatever feels kind to your body. Let your eyes rest, either gently closed or softened, and begin to notice this breath. No past breath, no future breath, just this one in and out. Say quietly in your heart, "I am here. This is enough." Now, feel into your body, the way your back meets the bed, the slight weight of your blanket, the coolness of the air against your face. You don't need to fix anything. You don't need to go anywhere. Right now, you are safe. You are held. You are enough. If thoughts come about tomorrow, about something left undone, let them pass like clouds, not resisted, not held, just passing. Return to this breath, in, out, in, out. And if you find yourself drifting again into thought, into memory, that's okay. That's human. Each time you notice, it's a moment of awakening. A chance to come back. No scolding, no failure. Just an invitation. Come back, dear one. The moment is still here. David found peace not because his life became simpler, but because his attention became softer. He learned to rest, not in a solved future, but in a welcomed present. He once told his wife, "The worries still come, but now I greet them like birds on a wire. They land, they pause, and they fly away." What a beautiful image. So, if your thoughts tonight feel noisy or stubborn or relentless, just remember, you don't have to push them away. You only need to come back to the breath, to this moment, to what is real and here and gentle. And maybe, just maybe, the night will no longer feel like something to get through, but something to rest into. Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it." So look gently, not with the eyes, but with the heart. Notice the joy of a quiet room, the happiness of being wrapped in warmth, the peace of not having to go anywhere but here, just this breath, just this softness, just this now. And if sleep comes, let it come like a visitor, welcomed but not demanded. And if it doesn't yet, know that rest has already begun. Because when we stop fighting the moment, when we stop chasing rest like a prize, we remember something simple and profound. We are already here. We are already whole. We are already home. There are nights when the silence feels too big, when the stillness of the house, the absence of voices, even the hum of the refrigerator, all of it feels like a reminder that you are alone. But the truth is, you are not. There's a rhythm around you, even now, a pulse in the night that continues, even when your thoughts feel lost and your body feels tired. The breath of the trees, the tides in the ocean, the heartbeat of the earth, slow and steady beneath the ground. Sleep doesn't come from shutting out the world. It often comes when we remember that we belong to it. A woman named Clara once shared this after a retreat. She was 75, living alone in a small apartment above a bookstore. She often said, "I don't fear the dark, I fear being forgotten." For years, sleep had been difficult for her, not because of pain, but because of a subtle sense of disconnection, like she was drifting away from something she couldn't name. Then one evening, a teacher spoke of breathing as a way of rejoining the universe. He said, "The breath you take is the same breath the trees release. The exhale of your body becomes the inhale of another being. You are not alone. You are part of a great rhythm." That night, Clara sat by her window, the same one she always looked through. But this time, she didn't feel small. She felt spacious, connected, held. She began to breathe differently, not as something to fix her insomnia, but as a way to remember, I belong here. So tonight, you're invited to breathe with the universe. There's nothing mystical to understand, nothing to force, Just a simple remembering that your breath is part of something larger, that even when you're lying in bed, quiet and still, you are dancing with the stars, the wind, the trees, the waves. Lie down now if you haven't already. Feel the weight of your body, gently supported. Let your hands rest where they wish to be. Let your jaw soften. Let your belly rise and fall. And now just breathe. Not to fall asleep, not to achieve, just to feel the air coming in and the air going out. Say silently, breathing in, I arrive. Breathing out, I am home. Again, in, I arrive. Out, I am home. Let the breath be slow, natural, effortless. Imagine now that this breath isn't just your own. Imagine it's part of the wind moving across the trees, part of the ocean's rhythm, part of the moon pulling softly on the tides. Every breath is an echo of something ancient. Every exhale a prayer whispered back into the world. Ajahn Brahm once said, "When you breathe with the universe, you remember that you belong." Let that memory return now, in the quiet, in the darkness, in the safety of this night. You are not forgotten, you are not disconnected, you are not floating aimlessly. You are part of the living world, always moving, always changing, always returning. Just like the breath, just like the stars, just like sleep itself. And even if your mind tries to wander into old stories, into tomorrow, come back here, to the air in your nose, to the rise in your chest, to the quiet in the room. Let yourself be cradled by the rhythm that has no beginning and no end. You are breathing with the trees, with the rivers, with every creature who closes its eyes tonight and trusts in rest. And if a tear comes, let it fall. Tears, too, are part of the ocean. And if you smile even just a little, let it be. Smiles, too, are part of the stars. Tonight, you don't have to do anything more. Not to fix, not to earn, not to deserve. You're already enough. You're already held. You're already part of the rhythm. The Buddha once said, "As a mountain is unmoved by the wind, so the heart of the wise is unmoved by praise or blame." Let your heart be like that mountain now, not needing to react, just steady, just here, just breathing. And as the night deepens, know this: sleep may come, or it may wait a little longer. But rest, real rest, has already begun. Because when you breathe with the universe, you are never alone. You are home. Sometimes healing comes not from what we fix, but from what we finally notice. There's a quiet power in gratitude. Not the loud, forced kind that demands us to be positive, but the soft kind, the kind that whispers, "This is here too. Look again." There was a woman named Rosa. She had been living with a cancer diagnosis for 3 years. The treatments were exhausting, the worry constant. Her body had grown frail and her nights were often restless, not because of pain, but because of uncertainty. Will I get better? She wondered. Will I be strong again? Will I see another spring? And yet, amidst all of that, something unexpected happened. A nurse gave her a small journal, blank pages, and said gently, "Each night before bed, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big, just true." At first, Rosa resisted. What's the point of gratitude, she thought, when I'm this sick? But one night, unable to sleep, she picked up the journal. She wrote, 1, the warmth of my tea. 2, the smile the janitor gave me this morning. 3, my sister's voice on the phone. It didn't solve anything, but something in her softened. Her breath slowed. Her shoulders, for the first time that day, dropped just a little. That night, she didn't fall asleep right away, but she did rest. And that was the beginning. Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "Waking up this morning, I smile. 24 brand new hours are before me. I vow to live fully in each moment and to look at all beings with eyes of compassion." Gratitude is not about pretending things are perfect. It's about noticing what is quietly holding us, even in the middle of difficulty. So tonight, before sleep or in place of sleep, you're invited to rest in gratitude. Not as an exercise, not as a list to complete, but as a way to soften, to come home, to remember. There is still beauty here. Let your body settle. Feel the support beneath you, the bed, the blanket, the breath. And now think of one thing, just one, that brought a small moment of ease today. A breeze on your skin, a warm bite of food, the sound of someone laughing, maybe even on the television. Let it arise, see it, feel it, say silently thank you, not to anyone, not for any reason, just the words. Let them echo gently in your heart. Thank you. Now find another, maybe something so small it almost doesn't count. The way your pillow feels, the scent of soap, the simple fact that you're still breathing right now. Thank you. Let the words be like drops of rain on dry ground. No forcing, no rushing, just soft nourishment. The Buddha taught, a person who is grateful and thankful is rare to find in this world. You are becoming that rare flower, blooming even in the dark. Rosa kept writing every night. Some days were harder than others, but she stayed with it, and gradually the journal became more than a habit. It became a companion. A soft voice in the silence saying, you're still here, and so is the light. Sleep began to return. Not always, not perfectly, but enough. She once wrote in her journal, I still don't know what the future holds, but tonight I have this breath. I have this moment, and that is more than I ever thought possible. So tonight, let your mind rest, not in what's missing, but in what's here. If tears come, let them. If a smile rises, welcome it. Let your whole being say softly, thank you. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for the rhythm of breath. Thank you for the softness of night. Thank you even for the chance to rest, whether sleep comes or not. You don't need to earn rest. You don't need to deserve peace. You only need to let it in. Let it find you now in the pause between breaths, in the silence between thoughts, in the grateful open space of your heart. And as you drift or simply lie quietly, remember, you are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are part of the light that continues, even in the dark. Thank you for being here. Thank you for breathing. Thank you for staying soft. There's a quiet kind of suffering that hides behind responsibility, the kind that says, I need to manage this, I need to figure this out, I need to stay in control. Even in the dark, even in bed, when everything else winds down, that voice stays awake. There was a man named Philip, a businessman, retired now, but still wearing the weight of decades spent fixing, leading, managing. He was the kind of person who made lists for everything, even vacations, even bedtime. When sleep began to slip away from him, his first instinct was to research, plan, problem solve. Melatonin, magnesium, blue light filters, sleep apps, lavender. He tried it all, like a man trying to tame the wind with spreadsheets. And every night when sleep didn't come, he would lie there in silent frustration, whispering, why isn't this working? What else can I do? Until one evening, his teacher told him something that landed not as advice, but as a mirror. You cannot make the mind peaceful, she said. You can only let go. Philip had spent his life leaning forward, reaching, grasping, solving. But what if healing required him to lean back, not to collapse, not to give up, but to surrender? Like a leaf letting go of the branch, not because it gave up, but because it knew it was time. That night, Philip didn't write a list. He didn't track his sleep. He just lay down and whispered to himself, I don't have to control this. I don't have to make it happen. I am willing to rest even in the unknown. And something shifted. Not perfectly, not permanently, but enough. So tonight, if you find yourself trying to figure sleep out, if your mind is still making mental checklists, if your body is still trying to do it right, this is your gentle invitation to stop, to soften, to allow. Let yourself lie back now. Feel the weight of your body being held by the bed, by the ground, by the silence. You don't have to hold yourself up anymore. Feel into your breath, not to control it, but to witness it. Let it come and go like waves, like wind, like something that doesn't belong to you but flows through you anyway. Say silently on the inhale, I let go. And on the exhale, I am held. Again. Letting go. Being held. Let the breath lead you into the space beyond effort, the space where sleep lives, not as a reward, but as a return. Ajahn Chah once said, try to let go. Then, just when you let go, really let go. Don't even keep the idea that you've let go. This is the kind of rest that sleep can grow from, not forced, not scheduled, but surrendered into. You don't have to be the manager of the night. You can be its guest. You can stop trying to drive the dream. Let the night drive you. Let the silence hold you. Let the breath carry you. Even now, even here, this moment is enough. And if the thoughts rise again about what you should be doing, what you didn't do, what needs fixing. Just notice them like bubbles in water. Let them rise, let them pop, and come back to this softness, to this stillness, to this deep, quiet surrender. Tonight, there is no need to be in charge. You've done enough. You've tried hard enough. Now is the time for grace, for release, for safety, for sleep. And even if sleep waits a little longer, let that be okay too. Because even in wakefulness, you are learning the sacred art of letting go. And perhaps, just perhaps, that is what healing truly is. Some nights are louder than others, not because of sound, but because of silence, the kind of silence that stretches across the ceiling, that fills the corners of the room, that reminds you how still everything has become. For many, this kind of quiet doesn't feel peaceful. It feels lonely, unsettling, empty. There was a woman named Helen, 80 years old, widowed for nearly a decade. She lived alone in the house they had built together, light with walls full of photographs and rooms full of echoes. During the day, she was fine, busy enough, distracted, surrounded by voices, even if only from the radio. But when the sun set and the house dimmed and the world turned inward, she would lie in bed and feel the silence pressing down like a heavy fog. "It's not the dark I fear," she once said. "It's the sound of nothing answering me back." It's easy to understand. We live in a world of noise, voices, messages, notifications, stories. So when it all fades, we forget how to be with what remains. But silence, too, is a kind of sound, and sometimes the most sacred one. Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "Silence is not empty, it is full of answers." And the Buddha taught, better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. Sometimes that word is no word at all. Helen's healing began not when she fought the silence, but when she learned to sit with it, not as an enemy, but as a visitor, a teacher, a companion. One night, she lit a single candle by her bedside. She turned off the radio, she lay back, and she whispered, "If silence is what's here, let me listen to it like a song I've never heard before." That small shift opened something. Instead of resisting the stillness, she began to rest inside it. She noticed the hum of the refrigerator, the distant hush of passing cars, the sound of her own breath, steady, kind, alive. And within that, something softer emerged. A sense that maybe, just maybe, the silence wasn't empty. It was full of presence. So tonight, if the silence feels too big, if the room feels too quiet, if your thoughts seem to echo louder because of it, you don't have to fill the space. You don't have to run from it. You can simply listen. Lie back, let your body be supported, and tune in, not to fix, not to analyze, just to receive. Listen to the rhythm of your breath, the quiet creaks of the house settling, the stillness between the sounds. Each one is reminding you, you are here, you are alive, you are safe. Say silently, I am listening, I am present. This silence is not against me. Let those words settle into your chest. Let them echo, not like noise, but like calm. Ajahn Chah once compared meditation to watching a still pond. When the mind is quiet like still water, he said, we can see clearly what lies beneath. Not to judge it, just to see. Silence is that pond, and tonight you are not drowning in it, you are floating. Let your mind rest in the hush. Let your body soften into the space that doesn't ask anything of you. Let the night be what it is, quiet, vast, mysterious. And if grief rises, let it. If a memory drifts in, watch it like a passing cloud. You are not alone in this silence. You are accompanied by breath, by memory, by every person across the world who lies awake, listening just like you. Together apart, we are resting inside the same sacred night. And perhaps the greatest prayer we can whisper tonight is no prayer at all. Only breath, only presence, only silence, kind, ancient, and full of stars. There's a quiet wisdom in knowing when to stop trying, not to give up, but to return. To rest in the center where you're no longer reaching forward and no longer pulling back. Just being. In the early morning hours, when sleep hasn't come and the sky begins to shift, there's a choice we all face. Do we keep struggling, keep fixing, keep measuring ourselves against how well we've done the night? Or do we begin again, not with effort, but with gentleness? The Buddha spoke often of the middle path. a way of living between extremes, not indulgence, not self-denial, but balance, harmony, steadiness. He said, there is a way that avoids both extremes, a path that leads to peace, to insight, to awakening. And for those of us who lie awake, this too can be a path, not one where we force ourselves into sleep like a locked door, and not one where we surrender to chaos or despair, but one where we meet the night with calm attention, with a kind heart, with a soft breath, with an open hand. There was a man named Leo. He had struggled with insomnia for decades, tried every method, every remedy. Some worked for a while, others made it worse. But it wasn't until he stopped looking for the perfect night that something shifted. He said, I realized I didn't need to sleep perfectly to be okay. I just needed to stop fighting myself and start being with myself. And that's what the middle path feels like. Not victory, not defeat, but peace. So tonight, as we close this circle of practice, as you lie in your bed held by the softness beneath you, listening to the hush of breath, to the slow beating of your heart, you're invited to let go of the idea that something has to change. Let go of the measurement. Let go of the clock. Let go of the story that says, if I don't sleep, I'm failing. And simply say, this is enough. This moment, this breath, this heart, open, tired, beautiful. Let's breathe together now. Inhale softly, like drawing in a thread of silk. Exhale slowly, like letting go of a feather on the wind. Let the breath be your anchor, your friend, your gentle reminder. I am not behind, I am not broken, I am on my path. Maybe sleep will come tonight, maybe it won't, but you are already resting, not just your body, but your resistance, your worry, your striving. That's the true beginning. Thich Nhat Hanh wrote, our own life has to be our message. So let this quiet moment be your message, that you chose kindness over control, that you chose presence over performance, that you chose to rest even when the world told you to push. And that is enough. Let your hands grow still, let your jaw soften, let your eyes rest, let your heart release the need to get it right. You're not here to conquer sleep. You're here to meet the night like an old friend, with no demands, no expectations, only love. And if you drift now into dreams, may they be light and easy. And if you remain awake a little longer, may this moment still nourish you. Because you have learned something profound. Sleep is not a destination, it's a byproduct of peace. And peace begins with you. So rest, dear one, not because everything is perfect, but because everything is enough. You are enough. You are safe. You are home.